What's the most insane thing your in-laws did when your baby was born? My mother-in-law Janet had baby rabies from the day her son proposed. This woman converted her entire garage into a nursery before we even set a wedding date. She'd corner me at family dinners, rubbing my stomach, demanding to know when I'd give her a grandbaby. She literally filed paperwork to legally change her name to Nana Janet before I was even pregnant. At our engagement party, she gave us a onesie that said Grandma's Little Angel instead of, congratulating us on our engagement. She kept a calendar marking my fertile days based on conversations she'd overheard. When I finally did get pregnant, Janet went absolutely nuclear. She announced it on Facebook before we could tell anyone. I found out from my boss congratulating me. She threw herself a grandmother shower where guests brought her baby gifts. She registered at Bye Bye Baby under her name for items for her house. The registry included a $2,000 crib, designer changing table, and enough clothes to outfit triplets. She'd break into our house using the spare key and rearrange our nursery to match hers. At my baby shower, she gave a speech about how she'd waited 35 years to be a real mother again, while I sat there, 8 months pregnant, invisible at my own party. She told her church friends I was an unfit mother because I planned to work part-time. She even tried registering at the hospital as my birth coach without my consent. The hospital staff had to flag her profile after she called 12 times trying to change my birth plan to include her in the delivery room. That's when things got dangerous. I hemorrhaged during delivery and needed emergency surgery. While I was unconscious for 6 hours, fighting for my life, Janet struck. She convinced my exhausted husband to let her help with the baby. When I woke up groggy and asking for my newborn daughter, the nurses looked confused. Your mother-in-law took her home hours ago, they said. Janet had literally kidnapped my baby while I was unconscious, but that's not even the craziest part. Security footage showed her attempting to fill out a birth certificate amendment form, listing herself as the mother. She'd brought her own hospital bracelet from a craft store and was wearing a hospital gown she'd purchased online to look like she'd given birth. She'd already posted dozens of photos calling my daughter her do-over baby. When I finally got my baby back 18 hours later, Janet had the audacity to say I was too sick to bond properly. I knew Janet's entire identity revolved around being world's best Nana. Her Facebook, her church reputation, her workplace, everything. So I documented it all. The kidnapping, the birth certificate fraud, screenshots of her telling people I was a drug addict who couldn't care for my baby. I found text messages where she'd been coaching my husband on how to document my instability for months, suggesting he record my pregnancy mood swings as evidence. I discovered she'd been building a custody case for months, telling her lawyer I was mentally unstable. She'd even opened a savings account in my daughter's name without my knowledge. I filed police reports for kidnapping and identity fraud. Then I crafted my response for maximum impact. Janet had planned a massive Nana's first Christmas party with 75 guests, including her entire church congregation, her book club, and work colleagues. She'd been posting countdowns for weeks. The invitation called it Baby's First Christmas with Nana, as if I didn't exist. She'd hired a professional photographer and decorated her house like a winter wonderland nursery. Perfect. I had my husband serve her with a restraining order right as she was opening the party in front of everyone. But first, I'd sent every single guest an email with the police reports, the security footage of the kidnapping, her fraudulent documents, and screenshots of her lies about me being a drug addict. As the process server handed her the papers, phones started pinging. Guests read the emails in real time. The church pastor's wife gasped, "Janet, you kidnapped a newborn?" Her boss from the library stood up and left. One by one, people walked out as Janet screamed that I was stealing her grandbaby. The photographer she'd hired started packing up his equipment, muttering about not wanting to be associated with this. The catered food went untouched. 3 years later, Janet still drives by our house daily, parking just outside the 500-foot restraining order limit. She posts old ultrasound photos pretending they're current. She sends gifts we donate unopened. She tried suing for grandparents' rights, but the kidnapping charge destroyed her case. Her Christmas cards still say Nana of 1, even though we've had 2 more children she'll never meet. She lost her job at the library, her church membership, and most of her friends. Her own sister testified against her in court, revealing Janet had done similar things when her other grandchildren were born, though never to this extreme. Last month, she posted a photo of an empty crib with the caption, "Waiting for my baby to come home." My daughter is thriving, surrounded by people who respect boundaries. She'll never know the woman who tried to steal her before she was a day old.